Production Files Episode 3, ASMR Episode 1. Please forgive any mouth noises that you hear, which you prefer not to hear. I'm sorry. This was not intended to be recorded this way, but I waited far too long to start doing this today. Everyone at my house is asleep, and these walls are paper goddamn thin. I don't want to get too graphic, but I can hear my roommates' shits as they fall into. I'm gonna see how this plays out, and if I'm not totally uncomfortable listening to this as I edit, I'm just gonna roll with it. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome back if you saw episodes 1 and 2. In the last episode, we documented some of our creative process together, going over what may be the score for this project. In the last episode, you met Lewis, part of our crew. In this episode, we're going to be introducing you to Paula. Paula is a producer and actor. After the chat with Paula, stay tuned for some exciting news about an upcoming episode we have planned.
Hey Paula, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Doing good. Thank you for setting up this time to talk with us today. You're in North Carolina right now, right?
Exactly.
And you've done some work in LA and on the East Coast, Virginia, North Carolina. Can you tell us a little bit about your experience?
Well, I had spent 4 years, 2015 to 2019, in LA building my foundation in the acting industry. Then it came time to leave for personal reasons. So we came out here to North Carolina. To say that it's been a blessing is something beyond I never thought I would actually feel in LA. I've opened up my acting school, I've cast projects, and I've opened up my production company. I'm in development of 2 projects right now. One is my feature film. I acquired the rights to that back in spring of this year. And then this past weekend, I just acquired the rights to a documentary on a gentleman who wants to go back and climb, if you will, Mount St. Helens. He sustained injuries both physically and mentally many, many years ago. And so at the age of 55 now, he wants to get back up that mountain and climb it. And I'm going to do a documentary on the defeating that mountain. Yeah, so I've been busy here, which is surprising. I've been doing a lot of behind the scenes work, but I'm also still auditioning. I have an audition today. Everything here is by EcoCast, which is great. So I'm still auditioning weekly. At least once a week I get an audition. I did a couple of short films while I was out here. I keep moving along, and then Greg and I started chit-chatting on the Facebook. I find writing to be challenging. So the fact that Greg can do it and gets it done, like I think I've told him, like his mind is a terrible thing to waste, and the stuff that he writes is just it really gets me going. And I'm just like, kudos to you for being the writer that you are. Anybody that writes is just massive. He's got some really good work. I'm really impressed with what he writes. It's all a learned process for me. Nothing that I do is, I know everything. Everything is in the trenches is what I do.
That's great. Yeah, I love when you can see people in the industry making moves and they have their hands in several different places. And I like that you're working on a feature and a documentary, different genres. It seems like you're pretty flexible. That's not the word I'm looking for. You're pretty versatile.
I would say, well, I would use both of them. I'm not beholden to any one specific genre. I'm just getting my feet wet in this, if you will. I love creating something, and I like being in front of the camera. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely love it. But I also like being behind it in that I can find something. My mission statement with my production company is to seek out work that I feel has meat on the bone, that I can, tell the story, producing and directing. I like being that versatile, if you will. I'd love to get my hands on a horror. I'd love to get my hands on a comedy. Right now, I'm doing a docudrama, of course, and a drama.
I was talking to Greg the other day about how I felt editing things and how I get kind of a gratification out of just completing these different projects. And I feel like filmmaking in general, it's like putting a puzzle together, and you can, sometimes you haven't made all the pieces, but you're taking the pieces and you get to put it together in some way, and everyone will put it together in a slightly different way, but having your own hand in it, there's some really great great gratifying feeling to that, and
Absolutely.
completing the puzzle, whether it has the same edges as someone else's might have. It's a lot of work, and yeah, it feels good.
Every time I get to do something, whether it's a table read or, be in front of or behind the camera, I am so impressed with how many moving pieces there are on a set. I learned that in the 4 years that I was, in LA. When I got there, I immediately started working. I was doing background work. I was busying myself with student films, with short films. I did the background work to bring in a paycheck, of course, but more so to understand what went on set. That was my school. I couldn't afford to put myself through film school, so I let somebody else pay me so that I could learn what went on. And I thought that was the best thing that I ever did. And I highly recommend it to people. If you can't afford to put yourself through school, go do background work for central casting for a couple of months. If you keep your mouth quiet for a little while and don't be so jumpy and stuff, these guys will actually let you come and stand next to them and just point certain things out as to what's going on set. I learned so much from crew while doing background work. It was unbelievable.
Absolutely. Even in film school, for us, even in school, our teachers told us being on set is the best learning experience. So I tried to be on set every weekend if I could, just try to fit it in as much as I could. And that's really where I felt like I learned the most as well, putting myself in the experience.
I'm still getting schooled on it. I just got off almost a 2-hour phone call with a gentleman, DP, for the feature film. And there was so much more that he opened up to me. It's phone calls like that I really like, where I can talk to somebody and just get all the knowledge out. It's just feed me. And they're like, well, I don't know if I want to bore you. Nope, have at it. I got time.
So far, this will be the 3rd episode. So thank you for being a part of this with us. And
you're very welcome. And thank you for having me.
Hopefully we get this thing, funded in some way soon, and we can all, get paid for principal photography for this. We'll actually be starting it soon, but we'll see. We're just trying to keep it
on another project or any other project we have.
We're open to what will happen. So
don't give up the hope. It will happen. Believe me.
Thank you, Paula.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Cool.
Hey. So, you know how we enjoy doing the table reads with our various friends, getting one of our scripts, in particular Copperhead Connection, several times, and sharing several roles, going through and pacing it out, seeing how it plays. It's a really fun way of experiencing a script. We always kind of enjoy watching these roundtable script reads of shows that we've already seen and we really love, and watching the cast come together and go through this scene by scene, and you just kind of really enjoy that personal process of seeing them all in the room together doing that. We've had a few table reads between maybe 5 or 6 of us where we have to share several roles. So I was thinking for episode 5, I would like to record a table read of Copperhead Connection, the pilot script, one that we've done several times at this point. Try to get someone for every role, a few audience members listening for the first time, people who aren't going to see the script, but we'll just kind of see the production play out in table read form.
I'd be up for it, definitely. Hopefully we can get some people who have auditioned to do it, or even people that had taken part in the earlier readings who we couldn't get to come, couldn't audition because it was out of state and everything. But yeah, I'd definitely be up for doing that.
Participating in a table read, it's like one of the final rehearsals before you actually make the production, and it's one of the only times before the movie's done where you see kind of start to finish, you get a real nice idea of what it's like. You have the storyboards that gives you a visual representation, but doing a table read, I think it really gives you a nice idea of how exactly long it might take.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think we're going to record the entire thing, and maybe we can cut it down in small bits, select scenes that we find good.
Yeah.
In the table reads that we've had so far, we've had some pretty good performances, and I really like the idea of having the people who've auditioned, the ones that we really want for the role, to actually be playing the role in the table read. Hopefully that works. I think on the week of the 21st, that would be a good time probably to record. So we'll put something out and see if we can get people involved.
Okay, definitely.
On the day that we record, or after we do the table read, we might decide to pick different scenes out and put them in. But for now, maybe this week, if you want, we can go through, maybe we'll try to get a projected idea of which scenes we want, and then we'll go on bensounds.com and try to select some kind of music that might fit the undertone just a little bit. Try to add a little bit more of a production to it.
Okay, so I'm definitely up for doing that.
Cool.
Later.
Later.
Okay, well, I'm excited for this table read. We're going to be posting to our Facebook page regarding whatever date we schedule that table read, but we will let you know. I'd like to give a special shout out to theholygoof.com. Thank you, Holy Goof, for hosting some of our videos. Head over to theholygoof.com for some very entertaining content. They have tier lists, they have review videos, lots of great stuff, and you can find our videos on their page under the Mad Ones. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Stay tuned for episode 4. We're still figuring out exactly what that will be, but it may be regarding the pre-visual production of this project, talking to some more crew members, or more of the music. Let us know if there's something particular you want us to cover. As usual, please consider hitting that subscribe button. We're going to have new content available right here every Tuesday. Anyway, have a fantastic day. I hope this whispering just calmed you down. I hope maybe you're asleep right now. You let the video play all the way through because you were so captivated by this. I hope you're resting in the fetal position on the floor of your living room like a little baby.